I would like to call on Consul General Mr. A.M. Alikhani on stage. With a big round of applause, everyone. Along with Mr. Mohad Mirai. And yes, here we have Mrs. Dipali Gadkari, Global Coordinator of GIBF, to felicitate our dignitaries. And I would like to address that here, the Embassy of Iran, Consul General Mr. A.M. Alikhani will take a charge.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues, dear host, dear organizer, especially Dr. Joshi, my dear friend, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First, I would like to extend my deep appreciation to organizer and having such a fruitful gathering, very friendly, informative seminar. It's my pleasure at the very beginning of my assignment in Mumbai as a Consul General. I am attending a few seminars. One of the most important is today's seminar. I had the opportunity with my dear colleagues, Consul General Dr. Sharifi and Kanjambazi from Ethiopia. We visit several plants here from last night till this morning, and it was a great experience for me. Although I had served my country in few countries, different places of the world, but it's a new experience and very lovely country. Well, let me provide some general information regarding the Iran and also history of the relation between two great nations. Well, of course, the relation between Iran and India goes back to maybe many centuries ago, even it's, well, maybe a few thousand years ago. And then we had Parsi here in Mumbai, in India, moved from Iran to the Afghanistan to India, settled in Sanjar area 1,200 years ago, and they are one of the most pioneer of the Iranian nation and citizen in India. Later on, we had the Yazdi and Shirazi and the other Iranian located in Mumbai and Gujarat and other commercial city of India. And also, we had many Iranian students studied in India. 40,000 Iranian students just a few decades ago, and now we have almost 8,000. It's interesting, I would let you know that among these students, graduated, many of them, after the revolution of Islamic Republic of Iran, came back to Iran and served their country, among them Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Muttaqi, and some others. It gives very good hand to enhance the relation between two countries culturally, historically, and in their all aspects. Well, if I want to speak about the recent relation between two countries, I should say, economic-wise, well, up to 2017, bilateral economic trade volume, it was almost $14 billion. $4 billion from Indian side, export to Iran, and from Iran, almost $10 billion. Mostly crude oil, bitumen, petrochemical, agro products, and this sort of commodity. From Indian side, our import is mainly textile, machineries, spicy, and more or less commodity. The very latest figures shows that it's increased up to almost $17 billion, 2018, somehow. Well, what I should say is just a commercial relation. We are not satisfied. For two great nations, which we had a long background of the relation is not enough, it's not desirable. We should move to the next phase. We should work on having more and more joint venture economic projects planned, especially among two countries with the others important countries in the region like Afghanistan and Africa through Ethiopia. Since Iran is a strategic point of the geographical in that region, we could have a look at from this angle that Iran could be the gate of the India toward the Middle East, toward the Central Asia, to the Afghanistan, of course, toward the Russia, Azerbaijan, Europe even, and recently to Syria and Iraq. After this mass crisis in Iraq and later in Syria, now they need a lot of investment for reconstruction of the country. Since Iran was helpful of the Syrian people in just this Daesh crisis, they are very appreciated to Iran. That's why they are feeling very close relation with Iran, and they have offered many investment opportunities to Iran. This is another opportunity for Indian investor, and the most important is using the opportunities. For each businessman, taking the risk is something normal, but always success is beyond taking the risk. Well, nowadays, as all of you know, Iran is under unilateral sanction of the one country. It's, of course, all people are suffering economically, but fortunately, with the help of some friendly countries, and the very good experience which we had in the past, we could succeed somehow. And we will be successful in future, inshallah. But I would like to inform you that's a big opportunity for our friends. Why? You know why? Because when it's a crisis in any region, the people are more welcoming, the other nation would like to help them. So culturally, this is the best time for all Iranian friends to do investment in Iran, not only because of the business, not only because of the benefit, because it's a good impression to the people. The people won't forget the help of their friends in the crisis, in the worst time. And secondly, Iran has a big opportunity for improving Indian economic and trade, the activities in that region, because we have some advantage. Well, of course, we do have some free zone area. We have the industrial park and the industrial city with no tax, duty free, and all those sort of things. Almost the land is very low price, almost free. Government is very supporting the investor. And also, among them, we have the Chabahar. Chabahar is very unique opportunity for the both sides. Because even we are facing with some sanction, but as you know, the Chabahar is exemption from that sanction. And this is a good opportunity for having the desirable regional and bilateral economic and trade relation. Because the Chabahar is going to be invested by Indian up to $20 billion. And the road is under construction and developing throughout the border of Iran and Afghanistan. And through the Afghanistan, there is a very good access to the Central Asian countries and even to Russia and even to Turkey. Because it used to be the Silk Road in the history. And also, some other economic and political factors are involved. well, energy, low price energy, manpower, very skilled labor. All this give the opportunity to do invest in Chabahar for re-export or for local market. Iran is 80 million, is a country with 80 million population, 1.6 million square kilometers. It's a big and huge country. My friend was talking about the farming business, agro-business. Iran is ready to provide the land for invest in the agro-business for local and third market. This is one of the opportunity. And because of the geographical situation of Iran, Iran could be the hub of the flights to overseas. You remember during the crisis, economic crisis imposed to Qatar. Qatar Airlines was flying over the Iran space. And then still we are welcoming all airlines to have their connection flights via Iran because of the low jet fuel over there, low price of jet fuel and the very good facilities in the international airport of Imam Khomeini in Tehran in Iran. When we are talking about the economic bilateral trade, we should consider some factors. One is the economic and political sustainability. When we are talking about expanding the relation between two countries, we should focus on the long-term plan of each country. Let's say in India, you are planning for expanding the road transport, let's say 80,000, 100,000 kilometers in 5 years. So suppose you need some raw materials, bitumen or whatever, from one counterpart, maybe the Iran, since we have export lots of bitumen to Iran. So when you are planning to do such a expansion, you need a reliable counterpart. You need, as it's rightly mentioned by our dear friends over there, as a discussion panel, as a panelist, we talked about the sustainability. We talked about reliability. So whenever you're importing some raw material, for any reason, the supply will stop. It may create it may affect the budget allocated to the plan. It may be even facing the country with some social problems, labor strike or whatever. I mean, it needs the sustainability and also reliability. So this is one factor. Another factor is the independence. When a country like Iran is one of the most independent countries in the world, as you see, in the past 40 years, we have been almost somehow facing with some imposed sanction. But it didn't affect our relation, economic relation with our counterpart, which we had a very traditional relation. So it is one of the most factors. And we, of course, we expect the same treatment from our partner. I should say very frankly, recently, it looks due to some political concern and reason, our partner in India, either private or some maybe the public sector, they stopped importing the oil from Iran, crude oil. Well, Iran, as we had experience in the past, so we will sell our crude oil through the different channel. But, maybe the Indian company lose the opportunity because it's somehow the barter trade. We are, unfortunately, our economy is based on the oil and exporting the oil. Although we have tried to convert our economy from crude oil based to the non-oil based economy, and we have almost a good achievement. But of course, it takes time a little bit. But when you want to export to Iran, suppose and for sure you have to import something. And for time being, it's the crude oil, of course, petrochemical, and this sort of the commodity. If the Indian decision maker wants to follow some political concern, there is no other way to continue the real trade, barter trade. So this is one issue I would like to very frankly to share with you. Of course, the private sector in the two countries, they found their ways, they know how to deal with it. But we prefer also at the public level, it could be considerable and it could be solved somehow. And I should say, very frankly, the opportunity is very, time-wise is very limited because the other countries are not just keeping silent, namely China. China is, for timing, is the first Iranian counterpart. India is second or third. It could be the number one. Why not? Because historically, culturally, and some other reason also, we are very close countries. And the both countries, they have very unique opportunities through the multilateral cooperation. They could expand their trade relation. Well, I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm not going to deliver a speech. Of course, we're going to have the B2B meeting. I am ready to meet you in my office. My colleagues are ready to solve the problem. I would like, actually I was planning to have a video movie for you, but I believe, although we enjoyed very nice movie from Ethiopia and some countries, but I think for having the real feeling from what is going on in the one country, you should pay the visit. I already invited the colleagues from the different Chamber of Commerce, and today through Dr. Joshi, I invited all the members of the Trade Association here to visit Iran. We have provided many facilities, especially visa facilities for all businessmen. Well, in some cases, we even issue one-year visa, multiple visa for the business group. And if, I shouldn't say, but if they wish, we are ready to issue the visa without a sticker on their passport, if they feel some concern. And in the Iran also, many facilities provided by government for doing investment. For any businessman with almost 250,000 euro, which is nothing, they could have a permission, buy a land, have their office, have their property, not only on the free zone area, on anywhere. And I should say they did many Indian investment in the Iran, in agro business. Lots of them got the land in Kerman area. They grow the pistachios trees and import the pistachios to India. Or they have established a betterment factory, refinery in Iran, through their local partner and even some case by themselves only. So we are ready to provide a group visit for the businessmen of your nice city and province of Maharashtra, and actually at the national level. We are providing a conference regarding the investment opportunity and the trade opportunity in Iran, inshallah, very soon in Mumbai with your help, and you are all invited. And then, very last but not the least, well, we are very interested in having the multilateral cooperation with our friends. I was just looking at the combination of the dignitary here. Well, I realize it's very, very wise chosen. Iran, Afghanistan, and Ethiopia, of course, with India. It's a very global, important region for expanding trade. Because nowadays, the time of the bilateral trade is over almost. Nowadays is the global village. Nowadays is the global trade. We are behind. The world trade is going to be remove all the tariff, all the barriers. And we should do it in bilateral and then next step, multilateral. So I wish to conclude my speech. I once again thanks all of you thanking, for giving chance to me to inform it. Thank you very much. If it would be any question, it would be my pleasure to answer if it would be any question. Thank you very much.